It's time for Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here is your host, the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
As I was walking down the street one day, a man came up to me and asked me what the time was that was on my watch. Yeah. I said,
Dave is not here today. He is in Chicago on I believe it's his high school reunion in Chicago. So I hope he's having a good time with that. That's probably a lot of fun for him. I don't know exactly what year reunion is, and my guess, I don't want to out Dave on the radio, so I won't say it. But big night last night with the NBA draft. Today's going to be very basketball-centric, I think, for me. I had a few things planned, but I got to watching these guys this morning, and I kind of want to talk a lot about basketball today. 4 picks for the Grizzlies. I've watched 2 of them, one of them being Kennedy Chandler, who I've watched a lot. David Roddy, I couldn't even get to this morning. I got so caught up in watching LaRavia that it took me about like an hour and a half of going through all LaRavia. I watched 6 games of his. So I had a lot of fun watching him, and so I'm going to talk a lot about him. And I'm thinking in the second segment today, since we're doing things on the fly here apparently, I think in the second segment I'm going to watch David Roddy here in the studio. So I don't really know how that will go. It's kind of experimental radio, I think. But it'll be a lot like, hopefully, it'll be a lot like listening to a game on the radio. Maybe I'm just going to go through and tell you what I see from these guys. Not that I have any accolades or anything like that. No one cares about my opinion necessarily. And this is probably the only time I'll ever tout any accolades I might have. You might consider accolades. I used to coach college basketball. I used to coach high school basketball as well. And furthermore, I've studied a lot of basketball throughout my years of playing in college and coaching. So I feel like I have a pretty good gauge for scouting, at least the tape that I see. Maybe not as good a gauge for being Nostradamus and telling you potential, but I've gone through and I'm going to tell you what I see from these guys so far. So I guess take from it what you will. And hopefully we all learn something about these guys today and learn something about basketball as well. But I want to start while I have your attention. I promise we're going to get to the draft, but while I have your attention maybe at the beginning of the show, I do want to tout the hole-in-one at St. Louis Church. St. Louis Church is also the St. Louis School, elementary middle school. It's on the corner there of Shady Grove and White Station. And this week, Sunday, it started this past Sunday. It ends, today's Friday, so it ends tomorrow. It ends Saturday. They are doing what's called the hole-in-one shootout, and every night they've got like 30-some-odd tee boxes. If you like to go out there and play some golf, you get a bucket of balls. It all goes to the church. It's a big fundraiser for the church they have. Hit a ball, it's about 130 yards, 120-something yards, and you see if you can get close to the pin. They get prizes away for 5 feet, getting 5 feet within the hole. They get prizes away for 3 feet within the hole, a foot within the hole, and then if you win a hole-in-one, you win a different prize. The first hole-in-one pays, I'm going to get the number wrong, I think like $400. It pays a certain amount, and it goes down each time, but you win a big prize, and it's a lot of fun. And they got cheap beer. They got margaritas this year. The best barbecue you'll get, barbecue bologna sandwich, is my favorite. It was also my grandfather's favorite. So we love going out there to the hole-in-one. If you go out there, you'll hear my Uncle Wes Craker on the microphone, doing a good job of keeping everybody entertained while also just naming who the prizes go to. So it's a lot of fun. They play great music. If golf isn't your thing, you can still go out there and have a lot of fun. Tonight, I believe, is the first night they have all the kids' festivities. So they got a water slide kids can go down, a bouncy house, they have a rock climbing wall, I believe. It's a lot of fun for kids as well. And tomorrow, if your kids like to golf, they have kids golf in the afternoon. So if you like fun, and like I said, if you don't golf, you can also go out there. They have cornhole tournaments every night, like 3 or 4 cornhole tournaments a night. Those are a lot of fun. They have a playground there for your kids. If your kids don't like the bouncy, whatever you like, it's a lot of fun out there. It goes from like 6, it starts at 6 o'clock every night. Or tonight it'll start at 6 o'clock. I guess tomorrow is all afternoon through the evening. I don't know exactly what time it starts tomorrow, but if you like to have a lot of fun, if you're looking for something to do and it's a little bit different, you're going to have a lot of fun if you go out to St. Louis Church for the hole-in-one tonight. I'm out there every night, not that you're coming to see me. I saw Eli Savoy out there from mornings earlier in the week. Greg Gaston from mornings was out there earlier in the week. His son hit a hole-in-one even earlier in the week. So if you like to have fun, if you're a fan of golf, or if you're just a fan of being outside and drinking some beers and having some fun with friends and family, go out there. You'll have a great time at the hole-in-one at St. Louis Church on the corner of White Station and Shady Grove. And I promise you they're not paying me to say it. I just really enjoy it. I have a great time. I think it's one of the hidden gems of Memphis in terms of festivities. Well, that's all about talking about the hole-in-one. I took up 6 minutes of your time there. Now we can talk about a little bit of basketball. And we'll start with the first pick from the Grizzlies. Jake LaRavia is the guy's name. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, but to be honest, I don't really know. So first and foremost, I want to say I don't watch college basketball. I just don't care for it. I don't think it's a good brand of basketball. I don't like it. So I really have never – there's only a handful of guys I've seen play going into the draft. And let me tell you, Jake LaRavia was not one of them. So I had not seen this guy play until this morning. So I kind of went in there with a fresh slate, and I got to watch him play. Furthermore, I will say it took me an hour and a half to watch 6 of these guys' games. So I'm not going to discredit anybody else that talks. However, I'm about to discredit a few people that talk about this stuff. Certainly no one on this station. I think Greg and Eli do an excellent job in the mornings. And as we go through the day, I'm sure people in our station are doing a great job of watching this stuff. But let's just talk about maybe other places you might get media in Memphis. It is very different. First of all, not a lot of people have access to the film to actually watch these guys. They might be watching like highlights on YouTube or whatever it might be. Not that you can't deduce things from highlights on YouTube, but a lot of people might tell you today, oh, I watched film on this guy or I watched film on this guy. I'm here to tell you, I don't want to say outright, but let's say 90%. They're probably making it up, okay? It's very difficult to have access to this film, to watch this film. It's not accessible to everybody, okay? So anyone that might be telling you all this stuff, I promise the information I'm giving you is legitimately coming from Synergy Film. I've gone through statistics. I've gone through offense and defense. I'm not just blowing smoke here. I actually watched these guys play this morning. So starting with Jake LaRavia, first of all, number 0, if that's interest to anybody, he's a 6'8", 3-man. One of my buddies said he's heard something that said, I don't even have to call him my buddy, Bryant Dacus, who produces the Sports Time show on here from 3 to 6 with Gabe and Stats. He said he's heard people calling LaRavia a swing man, and a swing man is essentially just a fancy term for he plays multiple positions. I do not think this guy's a swing man in the NBA. If he would be, he's 6'8", he played the 3 in college. A swingman in the NBA for him would probably be playing the 4. And I have a hard time seeing this guy play the 4. Now, his best attribute is back to the basket right now, and post-up, we'll get more on that later. But I just don't think this guy's a swingman in the NBA. He's probably going to be a 3-man. 6'8", like I said. And that might pose some difficulties as well. But he's only a rookie, and you know, you don't have to expect a lot from him this year. Regardless, let's keep going here. His three-point shot, he took a few amount of threes this year. In the 6 games I watched, he did not shoot the 3 very well. He doesn't really get any lift on his shot. And lift being like using his legs, jumping in the air, getting a good amount of elevation, which in a lot of cases is very important in the NBA. Probably less so for a guy who's 6'8". You know, that's right on the line of maybe needing a good fundamental lift in your shot and maybe not. So maybe that's a concern, maybe it isn't. What the bigger concern for me is I want to see more of them go in right now. But I've also heard, again, I don't have this information. This is just things I've heard in terms of what I'm about to say here, is he didn't shoot a lot at his previous school. I believe he went to Indiana State before he went to Wake Forest, and I don't think they let him shoot very much. So this past season is really the first sample size you've seen of him spacing the floor and shooting a lot of threes. So maybe there's just more development to be had for his jump shot. He doesn't get a lot of lift as of right now, though. A little bit turnover prone, but I don't see, again, that being a huge issue in the NBA. Just a few careless passes. He took the ball out against the press for them last year. So that led to some turnovers, just being asked to handle the ball a little bit more, getting double teamed as he crossed half court. Again, I don't see that being a huge issue in the NBA. Those just aren't situations he's going to be in. Let's see what else I wrote here. Oh, this is the big one. This guy, in terms of player comparisons, I'm going to say a lot like Franz Wagner. I don't remember exactly what Franz Wagner was like playing college basketball. But I know one thing about him in the NBA is this guy's all right hand. And watching watching Jake LaRavia play, this guy was all right hand, including layups, like driving straight line drives going left. He's finishing with the right hand. it took me a few games to see somebody make him pay for it. But once I got to that point, there was a couple games where a lot of teams made him pay for it every time. Like, the scout's out on this guy. We know he's taking his right hand on a straight line drive. Even if he was on the left side, he got blocked, a few shots blocked because of that. Even back to the basket. I mean, this guy's allergic to his left hand. He has a right hook. He likes this little right hook floater. He opens up a little too much. That shot's going to get blocked in the NBA unless he keeps his shoulders closed. But he likes, whether it's the right block or the left block, he really likes going over that left shoulder for that right hook. For a while, I only saw him go left shoulder, period. He has that right hook, and then he has two faders he likes, which is just back to the basket, fade away jump shot kind of. He likes that fader over the left shoulder. Once I got to see him shoot over the over the right shoulder with that fader, I kind of like that shot a little bit better, because you got to think, if you're going to that right hook over your left shoulder a lot, you need a counter to go the other direction. And once he started shooting that shot, that fader over the right shoulder, I like it quite a bit. It's a good counter for him. You know, how will that shot translate to the NBA? I don't know. Another thing about his post-up game is his pivot foot is exceptional. I mean, that's probably his best quality right now. Second best quality. His best quality is this guy is an unbelievable cutter. I mean, incredible cutter. And I know that's not like a flashy thing to say. People maybe don't get too excited if they hear, oh wow, this guy, what a cutter he is. But I'm telling you right now, this guy is an excellent cutter. I was super impressed by watching this guy cut to the basket today. And the second most thing I was impressed by is his pivot foot. Even on drives when he gets back to the basket, but anytime he's back to the basket, he's great ball fakes, uses his pivot foot really well, got college defenders off their feet a ton, which led to easy baskets, which made it easier for him to just use that right hand. He wasn't forced to use the left hand a ton because he was so good with the pivot foot. He also had some excellent passes out of the post up. Now, that being his best quality, how does that translate when you're a 6'8" 3-man? If your best quality is your post up and pivot foot game in the lane, you know, I'm not Nostradamus. I'm just telling you what I see right now, but you can kind of deduce what you want to from that. That might be an area of concern. In terms of his three-point shot, I mentioned not a whole lot of lift. You know, his shot in general was pretty flat, to be honest. Like, every pull-up he took was, to be blunt, atrocious. I mean, he has no game in between his post-up game and layups and a three-point shot. It just doesn't exist. He just doesn't have it. It was a little bit startling, to be honest, because, like I said, I hadn't watched this guy play, and I'm seeing all these comparisons like, oh, we got a shooter, like John Conchar. Oh, this guy's a shooter. What they mean is he's white, and that's pretty much the end of that story. They think he's white. Oh, this guy's a shooter. Maybe he shot better in games I didn't watch. Like I said, I only watched 6. But he wasn't shooting it well in those. His shot was very flat, and certainly inside the three-point line, wow. Not a good shooter there. But like I said, great cutter. Let's see what else I wrote down here in terms of, like I said, pump fakes. He's great pivot foot there. He had some really good shot fakes in the Boston College games I watched. The right hook is just, his right floater is not great. It's really just back to the basket. Defensively, I could see maybe that being an issue, but it's hard to see that translation, especially the position he's playing in college, so I don't want to talk too much about that. That's pretty much it about LaRavia. I would say the biggest points I want to hit on is he's all right hand. He's pretty good back to the basket right now. And at using that right hand. But he's allergic to the left hand, even on straight line drives, on everything. He took a few dribbles, like driving left, but defenders just know he's getting back to that right hand. I'm watching a few clips now. I'm watching him drive left here. He took 2 dribbles left, straight line drive. It's probably the most dribbles saw him take consecutively with his left hand there in all the games I watched. So that's a little bit concerning. But overall, I mean, this guy's a work in progress. I wouldn't look. To be honest, though, I didn't think Zaire Williams would contribute at all this year just with his skill set. However, Taylor Jenkins found a spot for him. Now, for a while, that was really just sitting in the corner, shooting threes. He would back cut and have a dunk every now and again. So I don't want to go out on a limb and say this guy won't contribute. He can't do anything, because I think Taylor Jenkins is a genius. He is very good with rookies. He's probably going to find a way to work a guy like this into a rotation just to get him a little bit confident playing professional basketball. Maybe we'll see more when it comes to the summer league, another tough gauge to be able to gauge guys in the summer league. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's used in a limited role this season. But I don't see any big contributions coming from LaRavia as of right now. Let's go to the other player I've also watched. I said he's always looking to spin back right. He's always looking to get back to the right hand. I like his fadeaways a little bit. That's pretty much all I got on that one. He liked the jab left a lot. Like, his go-to move before he drives right is like this jab left. Who you fooling, man? Like, you haven't gone left once, and anything I saw, the whole world knows you're going right, man. I don't know why you're jabbing left. And furthermore, it fakes some guys out. Like, hey, what are these? This is why I don't watch college basketball, to be frank. Who are these idiots that are getting faked out by a guy jabbing left? He hasn't dribbled left all season. It's unbelievable. Don't get me started. Anyway, he's going right side. And the last thing, I think I said this a little bit, but I don't think he's a little bit careless with the basketball. I don't really put a whole lot of stock into him turning it over in double teams or in the backcourt necessarily, but like it would be sometimes in like transition drives he's just careless with the basketball. Like he just gets to a point and is totally lost, had no idea what he was going to do, had no plan when he went into this drive, and he just gets lost and throws the ball away. Or he just like steps out of bounds because he didn't know what to do. He's like, I guess I'll just take this one out of bounds. So those are a little bit of criticisms of him, but he does have good, like I said, he's a great cutter. And he's really good back to the basket with those faders. I want to see more three-point shot. I could see that maybe in his workouts, maybe all of his work has been three-point shooting, and maybe his individual workouts with the Grizzlies were really good. And he was shooting the ball really well, and he's getting a lot better at his set shot. Like I said, I see the comparison right now mostly because of the right hand thing with Franz Wagner, who plays for the Magic. I could also see his offensive role being a little bit like Grant Williams, who was a post player in college and has now taken his game to the three-point corner, really all three-point line, to be honest. I could see maybe that being a limited way LaRavia plays. The problem with that is Grant Williams can stay on the court for longer stretches because he's a great defender too, even guarding threes and fours. And limited defense, playing against college players, I don't necessarily see LaRavia playing defense like that in the NBA. But just as an offensive perspective, maybe a little bit of a mix. Franz Wagner could see something like Grant Williams. I think that's all I had to say about LaRavia. I apologize if that was a little bit discombobulated. My notes are a bit discombobulated. I just watched this guy play this morning for the first time. In terms of Kennedy Chandler, I'm sure a lot more people have watched Kennedy Chandler play. I've seen Kennedy Chandler play since he was in middle school. I really like this guy. I think it's a great pick. I know some people are concerned about him being undersized. One of my buddies texted me this morning saying, you have Ja, whose weakness is defense and guarding the basketball, and you're going to supplement that with a guy like Kennedy Chandler coming in. I personally, if I'm building a team, I really like to complement my players in a certain way. For instance, if Ja's deficiency is defense, I want my backup point guard to be all facilitating and defense. That's the way I would do it. However, I don't think it's a bad pick to take Kennedy Chandler at all. This guy's incredible. And anyone who doesn't like him maybe hasn't paid enough attention to watching him play, because this guy's unbelievable. I mean, scores at his height in unbelievable ways. He can shoot the ball a little bit. Good facilitator. I'm fine with him taking a shot. But finishing around the rim at his size is incredible. Ja's one of the best finishers around the rim, maybe in the history of basketball. So I'm not going to say Kennedy's that good, but you will see flashes of finishing around the rim like Ja Morant in a lot of ways. I can't get enough of Kennedy Chandler. I'm so glad he's coming to play in Memphis. I hope a lot of people, my guess is maybe some people don't like him because he went to Tennessee. Maybe they're just seeing his size and don't like him. But you're going to fall in love with this guy immediately. He plays so hard. Rick Barnes runs one of the most complicated offenses, certainly nowadays, in basketball. Not that it's like super high basketball IQ, but just in the gauge of all of college basketball, Rick Barnes' offense requires a certain level of basketball IQ. And this guy facilitated and played the one and was the primary ball handler as a freshman for Rick Barnes. And that is incredibly impressive in and of itself. That should be a huge... What's the opposite of a red flag? Green flag. I mean, you should be going crazy because this guy can facilitate offense with one of the most complex schemes and certainly learning curve schemes. I mean, freshmen at any level wouldn't be able to do that. Certainly at the high level playing in the SEC, as good as the SEC was this year, that should impress everybody, and you should be, running in circles happy that Kennedy Chandler's coming to play here in Memphis. So those are the first two guys. I didn't take as many notes on Kennedy Chandler. That was really just off the dome in terms of what I've seen from Kennedy Chandler over the years. I guess it's time for a break. And when we come back, I'm going to ramble more about basketball, and we're going to watch David Roddy together in real time, and I'll maybe commentate some of the clips I see from him, both good and bad. We're just going to go through the games, and I'm kind of going to take you through the way I'm watching film and what I watch, and you're kind of going to hear it in real time here. So we'll be right back with more on the NBA draft and David Roddy here on Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I know the sweetest thing in Memphis, and I know it's been around for 120 years. I'm talking about Dinstall's, and it's time to stock up heavy on Cashew Crunch, Heavenly Crunch, Turtlettes, all of your favorite Dinstall's treats to watch the playoff games and to watch all the basketball. It's so easy to get. The sweetest thing in Memphis, all you have to do is head to Laurelwood or head to Germantown and Poplar right across from the hospital, or go where they make the candies. That's on Pleasant View. There's nothing that says Memphis better than Cashew Crunch with that little tinge of coconut, or the Turtlettes. Let's face it, there's nothing better than Dinstall's chocolate. That's the mainstay of all candies, isn't it? Milk, chocolate, although their dark chocolate is pretty darn good. And if you get the peppermint with the dark chocolate and put it in the freezer, you're going to love it. So many ways to love Dinstall's. 115 years of making Memphis oh so sweet. I often say they've set the bar for the way car business should be done at Homer Skelton Hyundai. You know how close that is. It's right there at Highway 78, Lamar Avenue, and Craft Road, the very first exit in Mississippi. I say it because they always come up with new innovations. And right now, when we've had all these shortages on new cars, Homer Skelton Hyundai is always going to come through for you. You won't pay more than the sticker price for a new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's Chris True's pledge. You'll never pay more than sticker price. Those other guys, they could charge you a whole lot more for that new car because they know there's a shortage. That never happens at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's part of the philosophy and the team that's been together for about 15 years now. You want the best of service? You want the best of products? It's the combination and the trust you'll always get from the best guys around. Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch.
Hi, I'm Troy Fivesh, owner of Fivesh Roofing. Sunday, today and today only. And for the first 50 callers. These are things you will never hear me say in my ads. Because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you don't need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get someone's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. 5S Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service, and I do it for a fair price, why would I need gimmicks? Best products, best warranties, and the best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. 5S Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5S Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5S Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Add a little excitement to your sports watching experience by betting on all the action on FanDuel Sportsbook. There's a reason why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Their app is simple to use. They've got great odds on all different betting markets, unique, fun bet types like same-game parlay, and exclusive, always-on promotions such as enhanced odds boosts on the biggest events to let you get more action out of every game day. And if you win, they even get you your winnings safely in as little as 24 hours. If you've never tried FanDuel Sportsbook, what are you waiting for? Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started and be sure to sign up with promo code CASH so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code CASH. Must be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
Mayor Jim Strickland and the Memphis Office of Youth Services present the Mid-South Golden Gloves Regional Boxing Tournament, June 24th and 25th at the Pipkin Building, 940 Early Maxwell. For ticket information, call 901-636-6264.
I love how Memphis loves golf, even city government. Overton Park is getting redone, Pine Hill is being completely renovated, and Fox Meadows is getting new greens. Public golf has never been better. There's a new app for your phone, Memphis Public Links, where you can make tee times, view special offers, get tournament information, find out the latest golf news, and virtually stay in touch. You can download it at the Apple App Store. There are several new golf tournaments this year, including the Mayor's Cup, and there will be a Player of the Year based on performances throughout the season. You can't beat Memphis golf. Galloway is in perfect shape. Audubon, right in the heart of the Poplar Corridor, is a true test of golf for any level of player. The city has invested in public golf like never before. So, if you haven't played a city course in a while, try it. I assure you, you're gonna love it. Memphis Public Links. It's time to vacation at home with Family Leisure. That's right. Enjoy a vacation in your own backyard with a little help from Family Leisure. Like play gyms and trampolines, they're now $500 off. And those trampolines, by the way, they've got that mesh on the side, so trampolines are now safe and you'll be the hit of the neighborhood. They've got hot tubs in stock and ready to go, and you can get up to $1,000 off when you pick them up. All kinds of do-it-yourself pool specials, like savings of up to $1,500 on all in-stock pools when you pick it up and install them yourself. And if you're looking for patio furniture, then stop on in, because they have tons in stock and they're ready for you to pick up. So get ready for that vacation at home with the help from Family Leisure. Family Leisure's Vacation at Home sale. It's happening right now at Witten Road and I-40, where family and fun truly do come together.
Now, back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Like I said a minute ago, Dave is out of town. He is at a high school reunion in Chicago, in Chi-Town. So he will be back on Monday, but he's out today. I hope he's having a good time. Hope he's having a good time at his reunion. One more thing I wanted to mention before we get into David Roddy here and watch some of his highlights live on the radio, which it will be a very experimental segment here, I think. I don't know how well it will go. I guess we'll find out together, but hopefully I can articulate what's happening in such a way that you guys can follow along with what I'm watching. I wish there was a way to do it more visual here, but I just don't think there is, I'm afraid. I was racking my brain trying to think of something. One thing I do want to say, I guess it's just general commentary about the NBA draft. I cannot stand the NBA draft, or any draft for that matter, but the NBA draft was last night, so I'll just start there in particular. It's just a terrible event, in my opinion. First of all, it took an hour and 10 minutes to make 10 picks. That's ridiculous. There's so much talking, so much nonsense. And then everybody, no matter who was picked, I mean, geez-a-loo, everybody is an expert on, like, everybody that's picked. Oh, I watched this guy play so many times. Oh, I watched him play one game. Oh, but, like, it's very different. You don't just watch a game and know how a guy plays. Like, you have to be watching him. Like, you know, for instance, a lot of people are smarter than me. Probably the majority of people are smarter than me. The vast majority of people are smarter than I am. But I know when I'm watching a guy, I need to be annotating. Like, I have to be taking notes on a guy. I watch clips multiple times. You have to really sit down and study a guy. And it's not rocket science to find out how he plays, but you just have to isolate the player, or if you're watching an offensive action, you need to isolate that offense to watch to get a better understanding. It takes a long time to be able to just watch a game and get a gauge for what this guy does. So I think a lot of people, and I'm not trying to cast aspersions on anybody in particular, I'm just saying as you go about your day today, if you're a big sports fan and you're interested in who the Grizzlies took and you're soaking up a lot of sports media, I would be very cautious of really taking all these people's words. You can even throw mine in there if you'd like to. That's fine with me. Be very cautious with taking people at their word for how these guys are and who they are and how they play. I truly think if you look it up and watch it for yourself and really study, even if it's just highlights on YouTube. I know I said that's not really film, and it's not, but even if you just soak up as much of a guy as you can, I think you could honestly learn quite a bit from just isolating a guy's play, and you might be surprised how much you learn in the process of watching somebody. So that would be my word of warning, is be cautious of who you're listening to today and what they're saying, and maybe just try and watch for yourself. Or, better yet, maybe listen to the people and what they're saying, watch for yourself, and see if you agree or disagree with what they said. And maybe, you might learn a lot about basketball in that way. That would be my advice from a former Division III basketball coach. So take that for what it's worth. I do not have great accolades here. I'm just offering my own humble advice. That being said, I hate the NBA draft. Before we get to Roddy, too, I do want to talk about the team that I was most impressed with in the draft last night. That's the Detroit Pistons, who did take, in a roundabout way, took Jalen Duren last night. And they also got Jaden Ivey, who, for my money, I know Paolo's big, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. For my money, Jaden Ivey's the best player in the draft. Most skilled player, certainly. Considering who he's going up against for those first three picks, Jaden Ivey has to be more skilled. He's only 6'4". Jaden Ivey, in my opinion, is the most skilled player in the draft. I'm most looking forward to watching him play. The Pistons get him and Jalen Duren to play alongside Cade Cunningham, who we all know how good Cade Cunningham is. Excellent player. And alongside Sadiq Bey, who was their leading scorer in quite a few games last year, certainly when Cade Cunningham was out, really did a good job of leading that team offensively. Another reason why I'm excited about the Pistons is they play an excellent brand of basketball. And you might say, well, Jay Morgan, they were awful last year. You might even use a curse word to describe how bad they were last year. However, if you watch them play, their defensive identity and their hustle, they were losing games because other teams might just be better than they are. However, the Pistons play an excellent brand of basketball. I am really excited about watching them play. And adding Ivy and Duren to the already Sadiq Bey and Cade Cunningham, and really Killian Hayes as well is a player that's coming into his own. I like him as well. He had a few deficiencies last year. Certainly scoring the ball might be one of them. But I'm really excited about the Pistons. I haven't gone through and seen everybody in the draft and be able to say, oh, this team won, this team lost, whatever it might be. But for my money, the team I was most impressed with last night was the Detroit Pistons in the draft. If you're a Tiger fan and you're excited about Duren, I highly recommend watching the Pistons play this year. It's going to be really exciting to see how this team ends up developing and playing in the coming season. So that's my thing about Jalen Duren. Another player that was picked from the University of Memphis, Josh Minott, was picked in the second round. I don't have much of an opinion about that. I know he was very upset about it. To be honest, man, I know you impressed in your if I could talk directly to Josh Minott, because I'm sure he's listening to me ramble about basketball today. That's a joke. He's not listening to me ramble about basketball. But he was a little bit upset being taken in the second round. To be quite frank, and it's not his fault. I could cast aspersions on whose fault I think it is that Josh Minott's development didn't necessarily take place last year. Let's just say it this way. He wasn't taught anything last season, and it looked to me like he wasn't taught much in high school either. He was drafted strictly off potential, and a lot of guys are drafted strictly off potential. However, they have a little bit to work off in college basketball. And unfortunately for Josh Minott, that just wasn't the case for him. He didn't put together good film last year in college. Again, I don't think it's his fault at all, to be quite honest. I think it's maybe his coach's fault. As a whole, not just one, as a whole, maybe his coach's fault for why that development didn't take place. But I think he'll be fine. Maybe it's a chip on his shoulder to build off of, and good for him being taken in the second round. If I were him, I wouldn't get too caught up on being in the second round. There is a logical reason as to why it happened, and I really don't think it's a slight on him as a player. It's just the way the dominoes fell in this particular case. Another player I want to talk about, first of all, the French guy, I haven't watched him, that was taken early. Don't remember his name. Probably shouldn't have brought him up. But in the short amount of clips I've watched of that guy, I'm going to watch more of him. That French guy looks incredible. And the other guy I want to talk about that was taken late in the first round by the Miami Heat. We're going to get to David Roddy in a second. I know I'm rambling here. There was a lot of players picked last night, as a matter of fact, so there's a lot of players to talk about. But the one player that was taken in the late first round by the Heat is Nikola Jovic. Not Jokic, Jovic. He's a skinny guy. Forget the country he's from. I watched him play right when the season ended, actually. I started watching a few guys, specifically overseas. I'm enthralled by watching foreign pros before they're drafted. I just think, first of all, if I'm going to analyze players, that's a hell of a lot better brand of basketball than the college games I'm watching today, first of all. So that's why I choose those guys. And Jovic is also just an interesting player, kind of Alexei Pokashevsky build, if it were. I don't know if I pronounce Pokashevsky. I call him Poku. So Poku's name, right? I probably didn't pronounce it right. But he reminds me a lot of the build of Poku. He was a little bit sloppier, though. I didn't love his shot. He took some weird shots, forced some bad shots. In terms of a foreign player, I thought he was certainly more of a project with a high potential, obviously, just because of his size and skill set. That being said, though, I feel a lot more confident about him today because he was drafted by Pat Riley. And if there's any one guy in the NBA that you just kind of say, if he's taking you, that is an automatic seal of approval, and this guy is going to be a good NBA player, it's Pat Riley. You can maybe even throw Pop in there, but I even trust Pat Riley more than Greg Popovich. And a lot of people might be listening like, well, I trust Zach Kleiman. He can pick anybody he wants. Look, I mean, Zach Kleiman was Executive of the Year. He's made good draft picks. I'll give you that. But Taylor Jenkins is the reason why this team is good. It ain't because of the front office and Zach Kleiman. Taylor Jenkins is developing these players, not Zach Kleiman. Pat Riley's a whole different animal. Pat Riley's seal of approval is a whole different animal, and I'm really excited to see Jovic come play, and I'm really excited that he got the Pat Riley seal of approval, and excited to see him fit in with this team. Certainly with his skill set, they're just going to let him shoot a lot of shots. Now let's get to David Riley. Excuse me, his name is not David Riley. I'm thinking of a golfer. I was watching golf this morning too. David Roddy. David Roddy is the fellow's name. He went to Colorado State. He was number 21 last year for anyone that cares, and he's 6'5". He is a big old boy. And I like that quite a bit. I like a big player at 6'5" the way he is, certainly on the wing. Synergy, we're not going to watch his defensive stats, so I'll just tell you what Synergy, which is the sports, it's basketball from international to NBA to G League to college to even WNBA. Any level of basketball that is beyond high school, coaches and players use Synergy for analysis and film. And in that analysis and film, they also categorize every clip. So there's a lot of statistics they can use as well. Take this for what it's worth. His rating on defense, David Roddy's, is average. Players' adjusted field goal percentage against him was 45% over the course of the whole season. It says he's pretty good at guarding spot-up jump shots. He's very good at guarding the post-up. He's pretty good in the pick and roll when he's guarding the ball handler, a little bit less so when he's guarding the roll man, but he wasn't in those situations very much. And then guarding off-screen, he was atrocious. Team shot 60% against him this year. Isolation, though, he did a pretty good job. 6 for 17, that's 35% against him in isolation. But 50% adjusted field goal percentage on jump shots against him. So in terms of contesting shots, maybe he leaves a little bit to be desired. Now, let's watch offensive clips. Kind of what I'm going to do here, and I apologize if this is bad radio, but we're going to experiment here and do it on the fly. Is I'm going to watch a clip, and I'm going to try and describe to you what's happening, and then I will give my analysis of that clip. And some of them will go quick, some will go less quick. I wish there was a way I could show you, but I'm afraid there's not. So we'll watch this first one here. It's the game against Michigan in the NCAA tournament. It's the first possession of the game here, it looks like. He gets a little off-ball screen, Roddy does. And it looks like he's coming off this staggered screen, 2 screens. He gets the ball at the top of the key, takes one dribble, step back three-point shot way short. Hopefully that was out of character because that shot was atrocious. Maybe not a step-back three-point player. We got another possession coming here. We're just going straight with Roddy. He sets a ball screen on the left wing there. He pops. He gets the ball on the wing. Now he's backing down to his much smaller defender here. So we're working on the left block. Backs down. Ooh, great shot. So he's backing his guy down. A little right shoulder fadeaway on the post up on the left block. That is an excellent shot. In the highlights I watched last night, he made a couple of those too. That seems to be a really good shot for him. That was pure and excellent shot there. Now we got another possession here for Roddy. It's a missed shot. Roddy gets the offensive rebound. Now he's taking it at the right elbow there. He drives left, gets into his much bigger defender, hits him in the chest, creates a little bit of separation, right-hand floater. Beautiful shot there. That's an excellent move well. First two things I noticed in both of those shots, both the fadeaway and the drive left. This is only 3 clips. This guy is very physical. You can see his big body here. I don't know what he weighs. I'm sure that information is readily available on the internet. I don't have it in front of me here. But this guy is big, and his physicality on display right now in these early possessions against Michigan in the NCAA tournament. This next one here, it looks like he's going to miss a 3. He gets the ball here on the left wing. It's a set shot. Pretty well contested, I would say. Ooh, that ball was halfway down. Pretty good shot, too. Certainly much better than his step-back fadeaway 3. His set 3 looks pretty good. Again, I don't exactly know what percentage he shot in this game against Michigan. He was 1 of 6 from 3, but that set shot actually looked very good right there, even though it did not fall. This next possession here looks like it's going to be a made 3. His one of the game, it looks like. I know I'm spoiling what happens, but it tells you what happens beforehand, and maybe that'll help a little bit. So he gets the ball here on the right wing. He gets a ball screen, takes it to the top of the key, swings it to the other wing to another one of his teammates. Now he's sitting in the corner waiting for a shot. It's a little bit weird talking about one guy right there as he plays. He's on the left wing now. He gets a dribble handoff, top of the key. Excellent screen by his teammate. Bucket. Really good 3. That's 2 in a row now. Excellent threes, right on the money. It looks like he has a pretty good shot for him. Again, I don't know his percentage this game. Let's just go through these stats I have in front of me. So this game against Michigan, he was 1 of 6 from 3. In the second game he played here, he was 2 of 5 from 3 here. That was looks like in his conference tournament against San Diego State. So that's 2 of 5, not bad. 0 for 1 against Utah State. 0 for 2 against Boise State. 1 of 1 against Utah State. So it doesn't look like he takes them at a huge high percentage there. But I'm telling you what, his shot right now from 3 looks pretty good. Actually, I do have 3s in front of me here. I apologize. I'm doing all this on the fly. Yeah, 3-pointers, it says here, according to Synergy, wow, excellent 3-point shooter. Shot 47% this year from 3. So maybe these games don't tell a great story. Again, don't take a fade away. But his set shot looks really good. It's a really pure shot. Honestly, in terms of the way it looks a lot better than the first fellow we watched, Laravia. Let's see another possession here. He takes another 3 here. Let's see how this 3 looks here. This is a set possession. This is the last possession of the first half here, it looks like. It looks like a called play. You have Roddy sitting at the free throw line. It looks like he's about to set some kind of ball screen. He doesn't. It's what they call a ghost ball screen. So he sets up, the ball handler sets up his defender like he's going to set a ball screen. He doesn't. It's a quick pop. He gets it out there on the left slot, takes a set 3 off the front of the rim and out. Pretty good looking shot, though. It just didn't fall. I really like this guy's set shot. Good elevation. I mean, it's a really good-looking shot here. It makes, not surprising at all, he shot 47 from 3 this year. This is another 3-point possession, it looks like he misses it. We already saw the one make. But now he's going to get the ball. He gets it, top of the key, he's dribbling, gets a little ball screen set shot. The ball screen defender has a pretty good contest there. That one was also halfway down and out. So we're really liking his 3s here. Let's see another 2 here. We're about to take a break. I apologize. This might just sound like rambling on the radio, but we're watching Roddy in real time here. So now Roddy's on the left wing. He gets a little back cut. He's posting up his defender, gets really good position. His defender gambles and misses it. Easy layup for Roddy. Probably a bad possession there to watch because, like I said, his defender gambled. One more possession here. Let's watch one from the conference tournament here. Roddy now has the ball. He's backing down what looks like a much bigger defender. This time he's on the left block, kind of short corner. He faces up, takes another fader left. Wow, that's a nice looking shot, man. Good gracious. Well, in the short clips, we only watched 15 here. We only got through 15 clips here of Roddy. And I apologize, I haven't seen him play more. Like I said, I don't watch a lot of college basketball. That's my deficiency. But man alive, this guy's short corner, back to the basket, fadeaway looks really good. I like the look of his set shot. Defense might leave something to be desired according to Synergy stats, but man alive, this guy's got a really good stroke. Excellent touch for a player at 6'5" and a really big body to go with it. So I like Roddy a lot. Laravia, I do think I like Laravia, but I want to see a little more from Laravia. I'm really interested to see what his individual workouts were like. I'm assuming his shot looked a lot better in that. When we come back, I guess we're going to talk just a few more minutes about the draft here, and then we'll hand it off to Johnny Radio here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56, WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM, as well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Let's say you need a new car, so you go to a dealer, right? Wrong. You need to go to Mount Moriah Auto Sales. Why? Because why limit yourself to just one kind of car when you can choose from all kinds of cars, SUVs, and trucks? All different years, all different makes, all different models. Really good prices, too. Now, everyone says that about the money, but Mount Moriah Auto Sales proves it. They work hard to get you the deal you want, even financing. Plus, they have a huge full-service department to help you take care of your car. So many choices at Mount Moriah Auto Sales. They're almost unlimited, with new vehicles coming in every day. Now, these are really good cars and trucks and SUVs that you'll want to drive. And yes, low miles too. It's so easy. Just go to Mount Moriah Auto Sales, tell them what you want, but keep your eyes open because you might just find the car of your dreams. Mount Moriah Auto Sales makes it all possible. Go to MountMoriahAutoSales.com. Mount Moriah Auto Sales, right on the corner, right on the price, right on Mount Moriah.
Hey, Jeff Allen, I'm ready to get my Kia on. What's happening over on Mount Moriah and Gossett Kia South?
Hey, I know the car business is crazy right now, but we got them on the lot ready to ride. I've got a 2022 Kia Forte LXS 210 a month, 2022 Kia Soul LX 223 a month, both 36-month lease and $27.99 due at signing. Plus 2022 Kia Sorento LX 315, 36-month lease and $34.99 due at signing.
And Jeff, your Kias are always equipped with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia, Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com. All 36-month leases, $650 acquisition fee, $30,000 per year, 20 cents excess mileage, 0 security deposit. Forte, $89,848, MSRP $20,770. Sold in $78,6867, MSRP $20,880. Sorento, NG $128,223, MSRP $31,980. Must finance through Kia plus tax title license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 7/5/22. Dealer stock only. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details.
13 platinum records, over 65 million albums sold worldwide. This is Poison. Brett, Bobby, Cece, Ricky. The original lineup returns. Sunday, July 3rd, center stage at Silver Star Casino. Tickets on sale now. Visit PearlRiverResort.com. Don't miss the party of the year. Poison World Tour 2022.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
I love how Memphis loves golf, even city government. Overton Park is getting redone, Pine Hill is being completely renovated, and Fox Meadows is getting new greens. Public golf has never been better. There's a new app for your phone, Memphis Public Links, where you can make tee times, view special offers, get tournament information, find out the latest golf news, and virtually stay in touch. You can download it at the Apple App Store. There are several new golf tournaments this year, including the Mayor's Cup, and there will be a Player of the Year based on performances throughout the season. You can't beat Memphis golf. Galloway is in perfect shape. Audubon, right in the heart of the Poplar Corridor, is a true test of golf for any level of player. The city has invested in public golf like never before. So, if you haven't played a city course in a while, try it. I assure you, you're gonna love it. Memphis Public Links. I often say they've set the bar for the way car business should be done at Homer Skelton Hyundai. You know how close that is. It's right there at Highway 78, Lamar Avenue, and Craft Road, the very first exit in Mississippi. I say it because they always come up with new innovations. And right now, when we've had all these shortages on new cars, Homer Skelton Hyundai is always going to come through for you. You won't pay more than the sticker price for a new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's Chris True's pledge. You'll never pay more than sticker price. Those other guys, they could charge you a whole lot more for that new car because they know there's a shortage. That never happens at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's part of the philosophy and the team that's been together for about 15 years now. You want the best of service? You want the best of products? It's the combination and the trust you'll always get from the best guys around, Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch. When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place, the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Lonely feeling deep inside. Find a corner where I can hide. Silent footsteps.
But guess who? Dave is not here. As I said, he's at his high school reunion in Chicago. But he will be back Monday, and I'm sure he's excited about the draft, too. That's a good-looking shot, too. That's an air ball. Never mind. We're still watching David Roddy. Connor Wallace, who is an intern here at Sports 56, works mainly with Johnny Radio, but he comes a little bit early to sit here with me every day. And we're just talking here. And the more I watch Roddy, the more I like this guy. I mean, this guy's stroke and touch is incredible. Not to mention, he is super physical. He missed that when he got fouled, but man, that's a physical drive right there. Just gets his body into the defender on the drive, which is usually the college player's deficiency on the drive, is college players are always trying to avoid contact. This guy is extremely physical on his drive. Missed a two there, gets his own rebound, puts it back. I love this physicality. I mean, to be honest, I'm not saying, again, this is the third game, I think, that we've come to here watching Roddy. I only watched 6 of Laravia, so take it for what it's worth. But I am far more impressed watching Roddy play right now than I was Laravia. Now, Laravia's got more size, probably has a higher potential to do more things, but man alive, I like watching this Roddy guy play. I love his physicality. I love everything about him. I love everything about this guy. And Connor also made a good point here. He's like a bigger Bane, and Bane is physical too. In a lot of ways, I like it. I like what I'm seeing quite a bit. The other thing I haven't mentioned yet is losing DeAnthony Melton, who I'm a huge DeAnthony Melton fan. What do they say? Like, he does it all, and that's absolutely true. He does it all. A great defender too. I'm gonna miss Melton. He was one of my favorite players coming off the bench. But I'm watching this Roddy guy, and in terms of having to keep all these guys, there's no way you can sign everybody that was on your roster right now. If you're gonna trade for somebody, man, I'm a big fan of this Roddy kid. Just watching him play these few possessions. Right here. I think that's just about it here for me and Wolo and friends here. We'll watch a couple more possessions here, Roddy, before I let you go. I'm really enjoying watching Roddy play. If he makes this, oh my God. So there's a play right here. Let's just talk through this one real quick. This last one I'm going to talk about. So this is a possession against San Diego State here. It looks like it's in the Mountain West Conference Tournament. So the ball is deflected away. He gets it behind half court. There's 10 seconds on the shot clock. He walks it up. He gets about to the three-point line to make a move. He loses the ball a little bit. His defender is all up in him. He jacks up a tough shot, but a really good stroke too. High arcing shot. Didn't even touch the rim, bottom of the net. That's what we call in basketball touch. That just means you know where the rim is, you know where the net is, you've got a good feel for the ball in the rim, and the ball goes in for you. Yeah, I can't rave enough about this Roddy guy. Watch all of the guys that were drafted by the Grizzlies today, but if you can only watch one person today, Connor, do you agree? I'd recommend watching Roddy. Recommend watching Roddy. This guy's unbelievable. That will do it for me here on Wolo and Friends. Like I said, Wolo will be back on Monday. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about the draft. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about Jalen Duren and Josh Minot and all the Tigers, as he is the voice of the Tigers here. But that'll do it for me here. Johnny Radio is next. Have a great day, everybody.
In the alley since 1948, Mr. Charlie Virgo's world-famous rendezvous. John, you and your